What is going on, all of you amazing gamers and magazine subscribers out there in the world? I am Mega Amster. Thank you for checking out this YouTube video, whether you are a new or returning viewer. Appreciate you being here, and this video is going to start as a bit of a bummer with some recent news we got as of this recording and kind of talk into a broader topic regarding physical gaming magazines, right? Which, I mean, any kind of physical media over the years has kind of gone a little, I don't want to say out of style, but especially companies are no longer supporting a lot of this stuff, right? We see it with physical games, physical movies, music for sure has been like that for a long time. But you do have your, niche corners who are collecting physical games still, right? But definitely everything is going more digital. And the same applies to books and magazines. Now, personally, I'm a person who really enjoys reading like physical books. I don't really have like a tablet or anything. I don't really read any ebooks. When I'm reading, I don't really want to stare at a screen and read, I want to be like, it's just something about having a physical thing in my hands and reading it. I know it's a waste of paper, sure, maybe you could argue, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. But today, the main thing that kind of inspired this video was the recent unfortunate news about GameInformer after 33 years being shut down by GameStop, which kind of came out of nowhere because, so for some context, just maybe 4 months ago, as of this recording, I signed up for the standalone GameInformer magazine subscription because for years it was only tied to like the GameStop Pro Rewards membership. That was the only way to get it. Maybe you could go in person to the store and pick it up separately. Let me know in the comments below. But as far as just like being able to get it in the mail, you had to have that subscription, right? Whereas a few months ago, as of this recording, they introduced a standalone GameInformer subscription. It was like $20 for a year. I think it was something crazy cheap. And just to kind of get it out there and, not have to worry about getting a GameStop reward subscription there. Not have to worry about that. And that was nice. It almost, in hindsight, it was kind of like a last ditch effort, to be honest, looking at it, because it was a really cool thing. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sign up for that because years ago, I had the GameInformer subscription through GameStop Pro Rewards. This was like back in high school. This would have been like 10 years ago, right? Unfortunately, I think I recycled I think almost all of those magazines that I got back then. I don't know. I didn't really appreciate it as much. It kind of just came with the GameStop Pro Rewards that I had when I used to go to GameStop, and it was kind of a nice bonus, but I wasn't really super in tune with the industry back then, whereas I'm a lot more interested now in actually reading these articles. And it's unfortunate because I've got a few of them here. I literally only have 3. I guess there's a 4th one in the mail, the final print one coming soon. I was really starting to appreciate these physical gaming magazines, and unfortunately, GameStop seems to have shut GameInformer down completely. Like I said, after 33 years, with a heavy heart that we announced the closure of GameInformer. So yeah, this was 100% GameStop. I don't know why they did it. I don't know if there's been any like background info on why they did it. Definitely let me know in the comments below if you've heard anything. I don't know if it's because they tried to do a standalone subscription and GameStop really wants it tied to that Pro Rewards thing. I don't know. But unfortunately, it's like I wanted a way to support GameInformer because I follow some people who, write the articles for the GameInformer magazines on like social media and like listen to some of their podcasts and stuff like that. And like, I want to support them without just putting money in the pockets of GameStop. You know what I mean? Ultimately, those are their employers, but at the same time, it's like having this separate subscription was a really appealing thing to me personally. So it's unfortunate that they stopped doing it. And it's just like out of nowhere, I got an email like just a few days ago. That was just like all of a sudden it was from GameStop being like GameInformer's gone. I'm like, what? Like it was just so quick. And then nobody was talking about it for like another like hour or two on social media. I was like, this is crazy because GameInformer, I mean, even besides the physical magazine part, they've been at the forefront of writing gaming articles for years, right? They've been one of the big names out there, along with like IGN and The Verge, and I mean, Polygon, all sorts of others, right? They've written so many articles. And this video is going to be focusing on the print magazines because we're going to kind of go into a broader scope besides GameInformer as of now. But it's really unfortunate to see one, big gaming journalism outlet just completely gone because of GameStop. So fuck GameStop, that's all I'm going to say. But I do have with me here the last few. Like I said, I think there is one coming in the mail, at least the email that I got said that. But here are the last few physical ones, so you can see here. And like the physical ones are cool because you got like the cover art here. Like, so here's the Star Wars Outlaws one. I really like this. My favorite that I got, I only have 3 here, like I said, because I literally just started this a few months ago. My favorite, look at this Hades 2. Look at this. This artwork is fantastic. this cover art made me want to get into the early access for Hades 2, and I just had to hold myself. I'm waiting for 1.0, hopefully next year. And then the most recent one that I got physically, this is another one in the mail, but this is Dragon Age: The Veilguard, which I know isn't being received super well online, but the article made it sound interesting. And like, here's the thing, like some of the videos I've made over the last few months have been inspired by articles I read in these magazines. One of them was the AI video I made, was inspired by an article, I think from Wesley LeBlanc wrote that one in here. But you know, and like, it got me into more indie games. I wouldn't have picked up Animal Well if it wasn't for one of, I forget which one it was, one of these three GameInformer magazines. I wouldn't be as sold on Hades 2 when it launches at 1.0 if it wasn't for this magazine. So I honestly think these two have a time and place in today's day and age, even in the digital age. I know everybody's reading articles online these days, and I still do from time to time, but I don't know, there's something about, and maybe I'm just old, but there's something about reading the physical magazines, the physical books that just, I internalize it better, and I'm just like, I don't know, I think it's partially because I'm always just like on my phone checking social media and stuff, but it's nice to take a break from that and still like read something that's still kind of educational in a way, like reading more about news. I don't know, it's something that I'm more invested in now. It's just, it kind of stinks that I just got into it now of all times, and is what it is. But anyways, rest in peace to GameInformer. I hope everybody who was, I'm sure, just blatantly laid off out of nowhere, I hope they can land on their feet somewhere and be able to financially recover, because shout out to them for writing and producing a lot of great content over the years. Let's go beyond GameInformer now, of course. I had the Verge article, but I don't think there's any more to really discuss here. Layoffs, yeah. Right, exactly. So yeah, because were they? I'm sure they had some layoffs at some point, but there weren't any huge ones, I don't think. Okay, so nothing else really. Subscriptions offerings no longer viewable. Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate. Now it's just a couple days of this recording. So I wanted to go over, now that we're done talking about the Game Informer part, I wanted to take a broader scope because, like I said, I'm now more interested in the games industry, and I just a few months ago started getting back into the physical magazines with Game Informer subscription. However, I wanted to look up a few examples of ones that have existed and ones that still do exist, subscriptions that you still can get physically, and kind of see if there are any that pique my interest. And of course, if you have any, definitely let me know in the comments below. But of course, the classic is American Gin. No, I'm kidding. The classic, especially for Nintendo fans, I know there was like a PlayStation magazine as well, although I forget what it was called. Let me know in the comments below if you remember the name. There was an Xbox one too, I think. But Nintendo Power, right? Classic Nintendo magazine that, is it still going on now? I don't think so. They have like a spiritual successor, I know, but Nintendo Power, that was the one that would have all the tips and tricks, all the upcoming games. Started in 1988, so literally during the NES's kind of life, which is kind of crazy to think about. And then, yeah, okay, August 2012, that was last. So still, it lasted almost just about 25 years. That is a long time. Yeah, all the way through the Nintendo DS and 3DS, yeah. So it lasted a while, seemingly ending sometime after the 3DS launched, right before the Wii U launched, which, how would Nintendo Power look during the Wii U era? That would be interesting. But yeah, just having like little tips and tricks. I think it had maybe some brief interviews, but it was mostly, I mean, Nintendo's a very secretive company, so it mostly just had like little tips and tricks. I never read it growing up as a kid, but they had like different, they had just a bunch of little, from what I've collected here and there, like guides and reviews for certain games and just upcoming games, and so a lot of different stuff they had. So kind of a shame I missed out on this one. I really, like I said, I only really ever read the Game Informer magazine, although growing up I was big into the Nickelodeon magazines. I don't know if any of you watched Nickelodeon growing up, but like when I was like, this is probably like 20 years ago, like the Nick Jr. and the Nickelodeon magazines were my jam. I would just look at all the funny visuals, and sometimes they'd have like a little gag. I think they actually may have had it like every month there was an issue. Could be wrong on that, but if any of you remember, let me know. But yeah, this was, oh yeah, Sega Visions. I know Sega had a magazine, but I didn't know it was under that name. I'm sure it was not successful. I don't know, but Nintendo Power was the big name back in the day, and I know there are still some ones here. So I was trying to look. I was looking through, yeah, Famiboards, Reddit, GameFAQs. I was trying to see if there are still any more physical gaming subscriptions out there, because like I said, I mean, in today's digital day and age, 99% of people are reading these online, right? There's plenty of The Verge, Polygon, IGN, Games Radar. I mean, so many different journalism. I haven't even named, there's so many to name off of that, you know, you just write online articles, and I mean, they're easily accessible more than ever now. Some of them you have to buy into, like I think Washington Post is paid. Oh, Bloomberg, I believe, is paid. So, you know, some of them you have to do, but a lot of them are also free. But yeah, so Nintendo Power, blah, blah, Elder Scrolls, GameStop. Oh yeah, with the Power Rewards. Yeah, that was dumb. Oh yeah, EGM. Was EGM, was that the PlayStation one, or was that just separate? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I don't know if this one really has many recommendations here, but I was just trying to go through. Now, here's a decent list on GameFAQs. Shout out to this GameFAQs thread. This was 8 months ago, so not super long ago, to be honest, as of now. This was like end of 2023. So apparently, here's a decent list. Shout out to Ando Mike for writing this. Edge, Play, Maximum PC, PC Gamer, GameInformer, not anymore, but rest in peace, and Retro Gamer. Now, PC Gamer and Retro Gamer I've heard of before. The others I have not. So I decided to kind of look into a few of these here. Oh yeah, PC Gamer had demo disc and stuff. Nice. So here, this is Magazines Direct, which I'm not going to buy any yet, but we'll see. We can see some here. Okay. So this looks like Edge magazine. This is for Astrobot with the Jack and Daxter costume. Okay, so these are like current. I'm trying to figure out if these are like old or new, but I think they're current. Yeah, because PC Gamer with Shadow of the Erd Tree. Here's that Play magazine also with Astrobot. See, like some of these, I'm not gonna lie, like there's something with like, okay, when you go into like, many of you, at least in the US, like you go to a grocery store, you're checking out the aisle and you see the magazines in the aisle. They have just like a crazy amount of ads and flashes on the cover. I don't like that. I really like with GameInformer how they have like cover art that is very specifically one thing, whether it's the Star Wars Outlaws, the Hades 2 one. I know there was like the Mario Wonder one. There was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth with Sephiroth, which looked really cool, of course. So like these PC Gamer ones, I actually think these covers are ugly. I'm sorry. Let me know in the comments below if you like these. Retro Gamer's decent. Edge is definitely appealing. I like how Edge looks right there. Play is also a little like PC Gamer. Here's Maximum PC. The thing is I'm not a huge PC gamer. I mean, I have the Steam Deck. That's primarily, I play primarily PC handheld now because of the Steam Deck. So I don't know if I'd really want like a Maximum PC or PC Gamer, but right now, Edge is looking like the one that's really appealing to me, and they have a bunch here. Everything you need to know about Fortnite. So the thing is like you can get all this news online. Right now, some physical print stuff is exclusive for sure. I don't know exactly what the proportion is. I'm sure it depends on the magazine itself. But like, I don't know, there's something about just having it physically and like reading through it. As I mentioned earlier, I don't love just reading articles online unless it's like a social media post directing to it, like read this article, you know what I mean? Because then I'll get some news that way. But like in terms of like actually sitting down and reading an article in depth, which I have really enjoyed doing with the GameInformer magazine, that's because it's printed physically. And there's like, I don't know, it's nice to have that. I prefer that personally. So I went through a few of these sites and brought them up. So here's PC Gamer, Warhammer 2, very cool. It's just like, I don't know, there's something about the cover. There's too much going on. It's too busy, you know? And with a gaming magazine, it's like, the cover is what's going to sell you on it, right? That's the thing. With an article, it's like you're interested in the content, you're interested in who's writing the article or what distributor is putting the article online, right? But with a magazine, it's like, especially if you think about it, if you're buying it in person, I mean, even subscriptions too, it's like the cover is going to be the big appeal. So with GameInformer, they have these beautiful pieces of artwork, which are very, very appealing, especially the Hades 2 one looks fantastic. And I'm sure there are plenty of others I never got, but that also look great. I'm trying to remember. There was one cover back when I got GameInformer, like I said, like 10 years ago. Was it Dead Space? What would that have been? No, because maybe it was one of the later Dead Space games. I'm trying to remember. It was like it wasn't very colorful, but it was like a deep blue. I don't know what it was. I can't remember. If I remembered, I would mention it, but I had definitely a few of those here and there. I got those for maybe like a year or two, honestly, but I think I never read them much, you know? They collected dust, but now that I'm actually like looking into getting more, might be better. Okay, this is Retro Gamer. Retro Gamer looks decent, except I don't think Taylor Swift's a Retro Gamer. Get her off the screen. $8.77 per issue. That's not bad. Okay. That's not bad. Retro Gamer's interesting. I think part of me, if I were to get a gaming magazine, I feel like I'd like to have something that's also a little more current, whereas I think Retro Gamers mostly just appeal to retro. So there's definitely that. Oh, $14.50 for one issue. That's a little much. Yeah, and the digital one's so much cheaper, but it's just the physical one's so nice. I don't know. Edge is definitely the one that's appealing to me most, though, for sure. What I didn't realize is that this is actually owned by Games Radar. I had no idea. But like they seem to have a mix of the old and the new, which I like. I mean, look, they've got an interview on Seaman. Like, I love that. You know what I mean? While also, you know, putting it next to like Final Fantasy 16 and Bungie. You know what I mean? So, and like Halo and all this stuff. So they have like quite a bit of variety here, which I liked about Game Informer too, with like the retro stuff and just like talking about general different stuff. Like this one seems to be appealing to me the most. Hades 2, you know. Oh, there you go. They have their own Hades 2 cover. I don't like that quite as much as the Game Informer magazine cover. I think because these, I believe the cover arts for Game Informer were unique, I want to say. Like, I think they were like specially created for Game Informer. I could be completely wrong on that. Let me know in the comments below if I'm wrong, but I think that's how they worked. Whereas this, that's just forget the protagonist's name, let me know, is just kind of like they have she's in the promotional artwork in that pose for the game. You know, but it's still, I mean, it looks good. I think Edge would appeal to me the most out of all these ones I'm seeing, but you know, at least have like a mix of the old and the new as well. But also I wanted to shout out the Nick magazine. Go check them out on Internet Archive. Look at this. Back in the day. I know this is not gaming related, but oh, never mind. We got gaming related. Crash Team Racing. We got, oh, Ripto's Rage. What is this? Oh, that's Three Musketeers ad. I thought that was a game. All right, I think that's about all the games. Oh, what is that? Neo Geo Pocket Color. Look at this. Listen, come on. Like some of this, you know what I mean? I think this is just because I grew up in an age with like game manuals and gaming magazines, even if I didn't get fully into it. It's just having this color print magazine with all sorts of info. Shout out to Rugrats. You know, like just, I don't know. It's super cool to have this. But I never got this issue specifically. I don't think this was before my time, before I was subscribed to the magazine, but it's funny that it's here. So I don't know. It's coming back full circle to end off the video. Like, I think there is certainly, if you're into reading physical print, there is certainly a place still in the gaming world for physical gaming magazines. And I don't expect them to last super long. I mean, they're super, super niche, right? I mean, physical gaming magazines, I don't know if this is generalizing, but it's definitely more niche than physical gaming, right? There's still plenty of people gaming physically. I mean, Nintendo just had those financials drop that still, like, a majority of their games being sold are physical. I think a lot of that comes from Japan, but still, like, people are still doing that. Whereas gaming magazines, I mean, most people just look up online and read articles, but there's something about having a nice book in front of you to just, like, read through articles. And, like I said, it helped inspire a lot of stuff for me. It had like, it's a nice variety because you're not just reading one article, you're being exposed to all sorts of writers and topics and different content styles. And it's just like, you know, you don't get that as much with like the immediate one-click digital experience these days. I understand it's more convenient and there's definitely a place for it. Like, it's good that it's there and that, you know, it's available to more people for free content there, but it's like having the mix, I think, is nice. So I don't know, I might look into getting this Edge magazine. I do definitely let me know in the comments below if you have any, you know, recommendations for physical gaming magazines. I live in the United States, so I'm sure there are some that are exclusive to like the UK, Europe, Asia, all sorts of stuff. So definitely, if there are any that deliver to the US, let me know. I'm probably not going to want to ship internationally, but any US-based subscriptions, I should say. Definitely let me know if you have your recommendations in the comments below. Otherwise, hey, thank you for watching. Like I said, rest in peace to Game Informer. We're losing, unfortunately, another player, and considering there aren't many in the physical gaming magazine space, and just in terms of like journalism in general, it's a big blow. And like I said, I hope the writers and producers, everybody who worked on the articles and magazines, all parts of Game Informer, I hope they're able to land on their feet okay in the near future. But with that, thank you again so much for watching. I will catch you all on the next video or live stream. And until then, take care, keep on gaming, read. It's good for you. See you later.